Whenever we want to convince someone, we negotiate like this. The shopkeeper is saying 5,000. You are saying 2,500, then he says, brother, give me 4,500, and you say 3,000. You increase a little and he decreases a little. Look, the matter gets stuck somewhere in the middle. Then you get up and leave, hoping he'll call you back. But he doesn't call. But do you know that this is the worst way of negotiation? William Ury and Roger Fisher, founders of the Howard Negotiation Project, together wrote a legendary book, Getting to Yes. I recently read this book, and the things I learned really blew my mind. From this book, I will tell you 4 things which, if you learn, you will become a master of negotiation, whether it is for salary or for doing a land deal. So let's get started. Look, negotiation does not mean dividing the matter 50-50 or just sticking to your point that, brother, either agree to me or leave it. There are no winners or losers in negotiation. What is negotiation? Let me give you some examples. The first example is 2 men arguing while sitting near a window in a library. One says, open the window, we need fresh air. The other one says, no, keep it closed. Papers are flying in the wind. What do we do now? Open one flap of that window and close the other. Either open it completely or close it completely. The librarian comes in, listening to the 2 argue. He listens to both of them. Then he goes and opens the other window. Fresh air came in, papers did not fly, both were happy. This is negotiation. A smart solution that satisfies both. Take another example. 2 people want to share the cake, but by all means cut it. Both will say that, brother, my piece is small, the other person's is big. What is its session now? Ask one of them to cut the cake and the other to pick up the first piece. The person who cuts will know that if he cuts a small or big piece, the person in front will pick up the big piece. That's why he will very carefully cut the cake into equal parts, because if he makes a mistake, he will get a smaller piece. Again, a smart solution, meaning the snake died, and the stick remained intact. Now one last example. 2 kids fighting over an orange. Their father comes and directly gives half of the 50-50 card to one and half to the other. A child eats the fruit and throws away the peel. The other one removes the peel and uses it to make a cake, and throws away the fruit inside. Now this is not a smart way. That means the real meaning of negotiation is to give 50-50 to both the parties, which is also not right. The real meaning of negotiation is asking the right questions, understanding the real needs of the other person, and then finding the best solution for both. Now, all this is fine in stories, but when it comes to real-life situations, be it your boss, landlord, family, girlfriend, you have gone for a job interview or to buy your new car. How can you get what you want? How to make the other person agree with what you say, how to make him say yes. I will give you a 4-step framework from this book, following which you will get what you want. Step number 1. Focus on interest, not positions. By now you may have noticed a pattern among the 3 examples, but perhaps you haven't caught concisely. Everywhere the problem was not what the 2 people were asking for. The problem was that he did not know what the actual needs of the other person were. This book tells a very simple rule. In negotiations, look at the positions and focus on interest. And what is the difference between these positions and interests? The guy in the library was saying to open the window. What was his position? That window should be open. The other guy was saying keep it closed. What was his position? The window should be closed. Now which of these positions will you solve? Nothing. But what were his interests? One needed fresh air. The other had the problem of papers flying in the wind. These 2 interests were solving different problems. And when you find the interest, the session is automatically found. Now how will you apply this in real life? This sounds easy, but practically it is the toughest part, because the positions are clear. Want this or I don't want this. Interests are hidden, sometimes behind emotions, sometimes behind ego, sometimes behind confusion. So, how do you find interest? The answer is very simple. Ask why. Yes, just this one word, why. Why do you want this? What is the real reason behind this for you? When you ask why, the other person feels that he is listening to me, understanding me, and respecting me. And scientifically, this is the point where trust shifts. People listen to you only when they feel that you understand them. And there is an important thing here. You also need to express your interests clearly. Sometimes the other person does not understand your point of view. Look, we are all emotional creatures and we connect with each other on the basis of emotions only. You are not making yourself look small by telling your why. You are not retreating in the negotiation but are going one step further. Therefore, if you directly tell your boss that you need leave, his first question is why do you need it? So that he can judge whether your reason is worth it or not. So never look at negotiation as a one versus one fight. Rather, look at it as if both of you are driving in the same car and wanting to reach the same destination. And the only debate going on between the two is, which path is the best? Now you will think that, okay, I have learned to find interest, but what if the interests of both clash? One wants the price high, the other wants it low, then how to decide fair? The answer to this question is step number 2. Use fair standards. Sometimes the conflict does not end. Even after the interests of both the parties are clear, you have to pay less rent. The landlord wants more rent. You want a high salary. The boss says that the budget is tight. You want low prices. The seller says that, brother, it is not even worth that much. Now here, if you go into back and forth argument, then the negotiation becomes like a one versus one fighting game. You throw one punch and the other punch is thrown by the opponent. Now do one thing to avoid this. Put personal opinions aside and use objective and fair standards. What does it mean? You and the other person should decide together that the final decision will be taken as per fair rules and not as per your wish. Like, remember the example of the cake. 2 people were not able to share the cake fairly, no matter how it is cut. Both of them felt that the other person's piece was bigger. But when one cut the cake and the other was given the option to choose a piece, the solution automatically became fair. Because this system was based on fair standard pay. No ego, no guesswork, just fairness. Suppose you are building a house and the contract does not specify how deep the foundation should be. The contractor says that 2 feet is correct. You say that no, the standard is 5 feet. Now the more you both argue here, the more the tension will increase. But if you simply say, look brother, I may be wrong. You could also be wrong. Let's do one thing. Is there any standard mention for this type of soil in the government guidelines? What is the safe depth in terms of earthquake risk? Let's check it once. What happens with this? Ego fight ends instantly. The conversation shifts from me versus you to me plus you versus the problem. This is the art of negotiation. But what are these fair standards? Market prices, government rules, legal requirements, industry benchmarks, expert opinions, scientific guidelines, rules decided before the agreement. All these are free from personal biases. When you use fair standards, the other person does not feel that you are forcing them. They feel that both of us are taking the right decision. This is a big psychological shift that forces them to say yes. Now you might be thinking that, okay brother, I have also learned to use fair standards. But another problem arises in negotiation when the interests of both the parties are different. 2 people want the same thing and their reasons, purposes, and intentions are different. This difference is what most people find problematic. But this difference is your biggest opportunity where you create such options that both the parties can get 100 of what they want. This is step number 3. Invent options for mutual gain. Remember the orange example. Both the children were fighting for an orange. Father cut it straight 50 to 50. felt fair. But what was the result? Child ate only the fruit and threw away the peel. The other makes a cake using only the peel and throws away the fruit. Think about it. If we took some time and asked both of them, why do you want orange? So both of them would have got 100 of what they actually wanted. But how much did you get? Just half. This example teaches the most important lesson of negotiation. The goal of negotiation is not 50 to 50. The goal comes to find creative sessions where both of them get 10,000. But how do you get these options? These have to be created. And doing this is also a skill, and this skill has 4 simple steps. Step 3: brainstorm freely. You and the people on the opposite side or on your side can all come to one table. Keep the atmosphere casual, open-minded, and just do one thing. Ideas, ideas, ideas. Whether it seems stupid, unrealistic, or strange, write it all down. Because the biggest problem is in negotiation. People judge ideas too early. And when you judge, creativity dies. Step 3: separate brainstorming from decision-making. This is very important. In the brainstorming stage, no idea is good or bad. No judgment, no criticism, no analysis. Just create. Later, when the brainstorming is over, filter the ideas, improve them, and choose the best options. This process takes your negotiation out of the blame game and into the solution game. Step 3: don't consider differences a problem. That could be the solution. Most people consider differences in negotiation as enemies. Their purpose is different, mine is different. He wants something else, I want something else. But the author of this book says, differences are not the problem, differences are the opportunity. In the example of orange, options were available because both children had different interests. A fruit, a peel, if the interest was a bean, it would be a problem. But the difference created the solution. Therefore, in negotiation, it is more important to listen to differences than similarities. Step 3: combine and refine the best options. After brainstorming, pick 2-3 options and modify them to mix tricks. 1 option never gives a perfect solution, but a combination of 2 options can give a 100 perfect solution. Negotiation is like a puzzle. The pieces are different, but when they fit in the right place, they are picture perfect. Now you might be thinking, okay brother, I have learned to make creative options, learned to fair standards, learned to identify interests. But there is always one last problem, and that is the most dangerous problem in negotiation. People, human ego, misunderstanding, emotions, personal attacks, frustration, miscommunication. All these things not only destroy the negotiation but also end the conversation. And this is what this last step handles. Number 4, separate the people from the problem. No matter how intelligent a strategy you use, if the other person's ego is hurt, they misunderstand what you're saying, or you become defensive, the negotiation will fail. For this reason, the book gives a golden rule. Be soft on the person but hard on the problem. Before starting a negotiation, just imagine the person standing in front of you and mentally divide him into 2 parts with a vertical line. Left side the person, right side the problem. And then remember, your fight is with the right side, not from the left side. You should respect the left side but challenge the right side. You value the left side but question the right side. Why is it important for you to understand people? See why it is important to understand people. Because people are not predictable. Their ego gets hurt easily. He considers his perception as reality. They may misunderstand what you say. His tone doesn't match his intention. Their communication is half-baked. And most importantly, you are also a human being like them. You also hear it wrong. You also react angrily. Your ego also becomes sensitive sometimes. In negotiation, you have to handle a mixture of both. There's in mind too. One simple trick to Increase success by 20 to 30. The chances of successful negotiation then increase by 25 to 30. When you talk to the other person for some time before starting the conversation. Just some light, friendly talk. How are you? How was the traffic on the road? Was there any problem in coming? Which sports are you interested in? No heavy talk. Just normal human connection. Because when a person feels emotionally safe, negotiations automatically become smooth. This is why professional negotiators always reach out first. The first 510 minutes go into this bonding. This is not small talk. This is the foundation of negotiation. In 1964, an American father and his 12-year-old son are playing freestyle in Hyde Park, London. That means he throws the plate and then the person in front catches it. Freezes were also unknown in England at that time. So naturally, when people saw him, gradually a small crowd gathered around him. Everyone is watching what these two are doing. After 15 minutes, a man from the crowd comes forward and politely asks, "Excuse me, I have been watching you both for a while. Who is winning?" At first the father laughed after seeing him. Then he said a line in which nobody wins, you just play. A simple sentence, but it's a truth for negotiation. If you are thinking of a game of winner-loser in negotiation, if your focus is on me winning and he losing, then you are not understanding the meaning of negotiation. The goal of negotiation is working together, finding wise solutions, understanding interests, saving the relationship, and creating outcomes that satisfy both. And when you apply these four things, negotiation is no longer just a technique. It becomes a life skill. You will negotiate in job, salary, business, with parents, in relationships, and everywhere. You will get better results, better respect, and better relationships. If you are watching till here, then don't go without liking the video. I have worked very hard on this video. And please share this video with all your friends. If you have and subscribed, please subscribe. Press the bell. Finally, you guys are amazing. Keep reading, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you for watching.